Hello and welcome to a fun one. Here we have a brand new box of 1992 Leaf Series 2 baseball cards. So we're going to open this one up and check out all the different players. There are going to be some really cool inserts we could look for. Especially in this series there are a lot of gold inserts. And it's also the first one of this that I'm opening. So I'll be curious to check out what it looks like, how the cards feel. And interesting, there's kind of room in this box. Usually boxes are pretty tight in terms of the packs and the tolerances around them, so that's interesting. And then a very nice thick feeling box too. So I don't know if that means anything, but just checking out kind of how it's made up, and here are nice thick packs. So overall, a really good feel so far. It looks like a more premium card product, as some of the era could be a little different. But we're going to look really closely and find out more. Over here is our podium. We'll put the best card there until there is only one remaining at the end, and that will be the winner of the day. And let's start with the first pack. We'll talk about players, we'll talk about pricing, and just have a good time along the way. And the Leaf Gold Edition, rare metallic gold ink. So the Leaf Gold Edition, new for 1992, a 528 card version of the 92 Leaf set featuring gold foil and gold metallic ink instead of the traditional silver. Look for one Leaf Gold Edition card in every pack. So very cool. It looks like there's two versions of this entire set, and we're going to start here with Dave Fleming. So overall the cards look nice. They're a silver, you get all the stats on the back, photograph of the player, and then a nice picture on the front, simple naming on the bottom, and then the border around it and the Leaf logo. So overall, pretty nice cards. I think they are looking good. Alright, just getting a feel for it. So starting out, Dave Fleming. Next up we have Vince Horseman. Jeff King. And Jody Reed. So primarily we're looking for a lot of the gold cards in here. Those are going to be the ones that have a lot of collector value. And then parallel to that, we of course want to be looking just at the players and kind of getting to know some of the players from this era. And here's a Jim Thome. Very cool. This has a collector value of around $35 in a PSA 10. So nothing too wild. And the centering looks a little bit off, so I doubt this would be a 10. But nonetheless, we will put him aside for later and then kind of check all the potential ones out as we go. But it looks like there is a good number of cards per pack. I guess we can count after this one. But first up, let's put Jim on our podium, and he could be the current reigning podium holder. And but yeah, we'll check. I think there's maybe 14 cards per pack, but we'll take a look at the end of this one. And moving on, we have Eric Karros, Stan Belinda. It's a cool landscape version of the card. And Andres Galarraga. Very cool. This is the first gold card we've seen, so you can tell that the silver is replaced with gold. And then let's check out, there's the front. Let's check out a gold front. Oh, that's really cool. It's an all black border, and then you have the gold kind of around it. You have the gold baseball at the bottom. I like the gold version a lot. That's really, really cool. So that'll be fun as we look through. We'll check out these gold cards. And then here is something. 1992 Leaf set. Talks about the gold edition. And 24 gold Leaf rookies. Huh, this is an interesting card. I wonder if that's in every pack. I hope not. but maybe it's like a random card itself. So I have no idea, but it's kind of neat, a little unexpected. So put that into a sleeve and learn a little more about it later. I'm hoping it's not in every pack, but we'll kind of learn as we go, I guess. Oh, I just noticed that I think the volume, let me turn that volume up. There we go. So now we have regular volume and we are set to go. So we'll take this leaf set, put that aside. We have Gary Carter. Very nice. And this one actually has a value of around $50 or so in a PSA 10. So he'll get the horn, and we will put Gary into a sleeve. There we go. And now we are cooking along. And I think Gary will replace Jim Thome on the podium as we go forward. All right, this card is another upside down now. All right. Rick Wilkins of the Chicago Cubs. It's a cool action shot. We have Chili Davis of the Twins. Dave Hansen of the LA Dodgers. And Ruben Sierra of the Texas Rangers. Very cool. That was a great first pack. Definitely excited about it. And a whole lot to come. So let's check it out. And I love these packs open very easily. Get them at the right spot. They pull right open. Some packs are really difficult. Some are plastic. But these open very nicely, which will make this a lot more fun. Brett Saberhagen. New York Mets. Pat Listach. Mike Bordick. Otis Nixon. And we flip them around. Pat Borders. Wally Ritchie. Chuck Finley. Kirk McCaskill. Jesse Orosco. We have John Kruk as our gold this time. And that's cool. It's a landscape version. You can see the gold on black. I like that a lot. Mark Whitten. And around we go again. Craig Lefferts. William Suero. Mike Gardner. And Alejandro Pena. All right, on we go. We are cruising into the next one. It was a pretty quiet second pack, and that leaf set card was not in that one, which is cool. So the first one that we found, this one, it seems like it's not in every pack. So I wonder if that's got any kind of uniqueness, like it's one a box or something. I don't know. We'll find out more. And we've got Lance Parrish. Franklin Stubbs. Jose Offerman. Glenn Davis. Bob Scanlon. Chris Jones. Al Newman. Chris Gwen. And Chris Jones, the gold one. That's cool to get the regular one and the gold one. Same pack. Imagine picking that up in the 90s if you were a Chris Jones fan. That would have been perfect. Is this double gold? 2 golds, 1 pack. This is BC 22 oh, the gold leaf rookies. So this is part of that insert set they mentioned, and that looks really cool. That's a different layout. You got this gold border, and I like that. So we'll put those aside and kind of check out that series, because it looks like they have a different numbering system for those rookies, the BC. So that could be fun to explore. And we've got Deion James and Tom Pagnazzi, Bob Walk, and Terry Shumpert. All right. So definitely a fun series. I like opening these. They feel really good in the hand. Everything has like a premium feel, from the packs to how many cards. Actually, let me count the cards real quick. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12. I messed up that count. 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. 9 is the gold. 10, 11, 12, 13, 14. All right. 14 cards a pack. You can see a nice, pretty thick grouping there. So you get a lot of cards and a lot of quality feeling cards as well. So from that aspect, definitely a great set. David Justice, Dave Cochran, Dave Martinez, Mickey Morandi. I was hoping for a third Dave, triple Daves, but maybe next time. Orlando Merced. Here's the landscape one. Gino Petrali, Jose Mesa, Bobby Ojeda, Hubie Brooks is our gold one of the pack. Trevor Wilson, Jeff Parrott, and we got Dale Murphy. And this one's pretty cool. He'll get the horn. This is around $50 or so in a PSA 10, and quality is looking pretty good. Corners look sharp, centering looks decent. So we will put Dale aside for now, and we'll take a closer look later on. And I think Gary Murphy will still stay on our podium. And we have Ken Hill and Junior Noboa. That's actually a great shot right there. Sliding in, horizontal view. I like that. So away we go to the next pack. This is going to be the middle of the pack. We're rounding the corner, cresting the mountain. Pack number 5 of 9. We are right in the center, and we have Gary Sheffield starting out this pack. Cliff Brantley of the Philadelphia Phillies. Brian Downing, Texas Rangers. Juan Guerrero. And now we rotate. Wonder what the order of all that is. But Lance Parrish. We got Franklin Stubbs. Jose Offerman. Glenn Davis. And our gold one is going to be Jacob Brumfeld of the Cincinnati Reds. And another Gary Sheffield. 2 of the same card, same pack. Andres Galarraga. And we turn again. Going to get a workout in here. We have Gary Carter. And we already have a Gary Carter on our podium, so we will save this one as well. And have double Gary Carter. What do you know? Can't beat that. Next up, Andres Galarraga again. Is that 2 Andres? Same pack. I think we had 2 of another player. Actually, Andres Galarraga, same card within 3 cards. We had this one, our Gary Carter, and another Andres. So interesting card distribution in this pack. And Rick Cerone. All right, we continue along. And I like how these cards, they're not stuck together, so they've kept condition very well, and that makes it a lot nicer to go through. And we have Frank Thomas right here, which is a very cool card, and this has a value of around $40 or so. So he'll get the horn, and we'll put him aside for later. And we'll see what lies ahead. So we're doing pretty well. And again, getting 10s, like PSA 10s, are it's very difficult, even for cards pulled out of a pack. So most of these likely will not be and have very little value. But you never know. Some might. So, but if anything, at least for the collecting aspect, we'll kind of keep the good ones looking good. And then we'll learn about these players as we go. Here's another cool one. Around a $50 value or so in a PSA 10 for this Pat Listach. But if you see what I see, this corner is very well eaten, if you will. Crunched, dinged, so that's not going to be a 10 at all, but we'll still save Pat for later. Here we have our checklist. First one that we've come across, so that's kind of fun. We have Paul Gibson, Paul Sorrento, Craig Jeffries. Oh no, Craig Lefferts, and William Sawaro. And our gold one is going to be Mike Fitzgerald. That one is a little stuck to the card behind it. Mike Pagliarulo. There we go. Probably get a little more practice in on that and it'll go smoother. Joe Bover. We have Donnie Hill. Dwayne Henry. And Brian Downing. All right. Got some interesting ordering of cards in these packs as well. Starting off, Bobby Witt, Chuck Krim, Eric Bell, and Kevin Ritz. And around we go, Keith Miller. Very cool, Ozzie Smith. Bill Swift. Bruce Ruffin. And our gold is going to be Dave Fleming. Darren Lewis. Thomas Howard. Otis Nixon. It's a cool sliding shot. Rich Monteleone. New York Yankees. Oh, here's that Mike Pagliarulo. See? Got that practice in. There we go. Same pack. They must have known we needed the practice. Trevor Wilson. And that is that last card. So we are in the final stretch. We have 2 packs to go. An overall pretty fun series to open. I could definitely enjoy, if I was getting a pack of this, just a pack from the box back in when they were new, it would have been a nice opening experience for sure. Kevin McReynolds, Peter Hoy, Rick Sutcliffe, Terry Steinbach, Brian Jordan. That's a nice sliding shot. Helmet midair, guy trying to tag him out. That's pretty cool. Franklin Stubbs, Jose Offerman, Glenn Davis, Raphael Belliard, and Mike Bordick as our gold card. Rich Monteleone. What's interesting is we're seeing a lot of doubles relatively close together, sometimes in the same pack. Mike Gardner. So that's an interesting aspect to this, at least this box. I don't know if they're all like that, but usually you get a much better distribution of cards. And last up, we have Dennis Cook. All right, that brings us to the last pack of the stack. Let's see what beholds us here. I'm sure something pretty cool. If not, some good photos. And we got Chito Martinez from the Orioles kicking us off with the first card. Greg Maddux. Well, he was still on the Cubs. Brett Barbery. Omar Olivares. And Junior Noboa. Again, we've seen him sliding in just a little earlier. Lance Blankenship. Tom Belcher. Gary Wayne. And our gold one is John Wetland. Mike Bilecki. Wow, look at that pitching stance or position. 441 is Darren Lewis. And we turn these again. That's a little weird too, how many reversals they have in the card orientation. We have Eddie Murray. That's pretty cool. Bob Welch. And let's see, we have Greg Swindell. And lastly, Hubie Brooks. All right, so that brings us to the summary. We have our winner of the day is going to be Gary Carter. And along with that, we have a second Gary Carter, Jim Thome. Great to see him in here. We have Dale Murphy, Frank Thomas, and Pat Listach. So overall, a very nice grouping of players, and I think a really nice set. You know, the more I handle them, the more I see them. They kind of feel good to open, to look at. So I'm excited for more. But there's our first look. I hope you learned something and hope you had fun. There you have it. Until next time.